Hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty, and in this video I wanted to showcase and show off and describe and explain what exactly I'm doing with my Atlas passive tree for the rest of the league and what the strategy is I'm implementing with the Keystone Grand Design. So I am using a Grand Design tree. Now what is Grand Design? This is an Atlas Keystone that has an upside and a downside. The downside's pretty steep, but the upside is pretty fun. The downside being small Atlas passive skills grant nothing. So what does it exactly mean? Well, every single non-notable or non-keystone, so the small points, do literally nothing on the tree. Blank. Nothing. Literally nothing, nothing, nothing. No matter what they are, they do nothing. However, your maps have 1% increased pack size per allocated notable Atlas passive skill. Now what this enables is some great value overall, and on top of that, it enables some interesting interactions with just having large amounts of pack size, because it basically artificially increases your quantity, in a way your rarity, your map returns, because you're killing so many more mobs. Now this also is very fun because it enables your tree to pick up things that basically do nothing but enable 1% pack size. An example of that is 2 points for Abyssal Army. I'm not even running Abyss. I have Abyss blocked even, right? I have Abyss totally blocked off my tree, but 2 points, what is that? That's 1% pack size. So to show you an example of what my pack size is currently at, I'm just going to put in a white tier 2 map, all right? Just a blank, totally blank tier 2. And I just want to show you what amount of pack size I am currently artificially at. I have increased 35% pack size, which is a very, very large amount of pack size. But you could take that actually a step further because of something else on tree. That something else is Shaping the Valleys. So Shaping the Valleys gives you 10% pack size per map affected by Fortune Favors. Now Fortune Favors currently is 3 chaos. Well, it's always 3 chaos. Now what does this mean? This means that with a map that has Fortune Favors on, with a basic tree like mine, which is also still enabling some fun mechanics, which we'll go over in a second, you end up with almost 50% pack size. Now I unfortunately have something like Planner Tactician allocated because I want to get comprehensive scouting reports. But if you reallocated those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passives, you can easily pick up the 1-point commissioned officer and a couple small points here and get about 3% more pack size. Now, this is also with having things I'm focusing on in the league. So what things am I focusing on in the league currently? Well, I have Essences on for challenge, plus it's just Essence is good. I have Heist on because I want blueprints. That's just an obvious one. And on top of that, I'm focusing on Delve, because I'm delving to 600, and Harbinger. I get to still interact with all these mechanics while increasing the pack size. And pack size is actually very nice for things like, Harbinger, for example. So benefiting very important things, especially considering you want to do things like, we'll say, Expedition. Higher pack size, higher amount of remnants, higher amount of Expedition mobs means more returns on Expedition currency, more return on Expedition rerolls. So when you think about that pack size being cranked up, it starts to get really spicy. Now let's take a look at a pretty standard map I have here. We'll just take a, doesn't really matter too much. I guess we'll do a Caldera. So here's a Caldera I've got. It's a pretty just kind of Alk and Go type map. 22 pack size on the map. So we pop on the Caldera, we put on our Fortune Favors. I'm going to put on, Sulfite because I'm doing Nico. And let's just show you how much pack size that actually equals. It's kind of an insane amount. So this map has had a 3C investment, plus I guess an Alk and Chisels. And this map now has 67% increased pack size. That's a ridiculous amount of pack size. This really makes it so pretty much the map feels so much more full when fighting these packs. I mean, there's just way more around an area than there normally would be. Now, of course, this pack size can also affect things like influence mobs. So if you're big into having Eater or, Exarch on, those are also affected by pack size. You can still pick up the notables that increase the pack size for those sort of things. Or if you just want to kind of forgo that and do what I'm doing and focus on league mechanics while having that amount of pack size on, that's cool too. Harbinger also spawns way more mobs than normal because of, well, increased pack size. You could basically customize the league mechanics to your liking as far as what you want to focus on and what league mechanic that benefits the most from having increased pack size. Now, I'm not taking the most advantage of that really at the moment because I'm focusing on things that don't scale extremely well with pack size outside of Harbinger. But if you were to pick up things like Harbinger, things like even Delirium, things like league mechanics such as the Eater of Worlds or Exarch, well, you're going to start to see the benefits of that pack size much, much higher. Super, super great for experience per hour. It's fantastic for that because the pack size is so high that it turns basically normal tier 14s into almost tier 16. It truly lets the juice flow on maps. I've been playing pretty casually this league as far as pushing maps and pushing levels. And I'm currently level 98, and I've been having this map strategy on for some time. So I think I could pretty much very comfortably push to 100. The only caveat is map sustain can be a little weird because I have singular focus on, but you don't have to have singular focus at all. That keystone is purely for my choice. You could turn off singular as a keystone, and you could just instead run a shadow shaping, Jesus Christ, shadow shaping setup, or just have neither on and just rely on randomized, generic red drops. Again, having it set to things like, you have domination for shrines, or things like expedition, or things like abyss will yield tremendous results, or breach yield tremendous results for experience, and let you take the most advantage of that amount of pack size. You can crank these values even higher, and it's really not crazy to be able to reach the heights of, we'll say, passively with a fortune setup running maps that have easily 80, 90, almost 100 pack size. So things like breach, things like harbinger, things like heist, or heist what? Things like abyss start really popping off. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Grand design tree. It's great for pack size, great for returns, especially when it comes to experience is the big one. And it's just like a very chill way of doing it because you have so many things blocked, some of the mechanics expedited, that's pretty kind of elk and go, if you will. Picking up stream of consciousness, picking up either shadow shaping or singular focus, and having it so you pretty much just toggle on fortune, run a map, toggle on fortune, run a map, makes it very, very easy to have to get returns, not have to think too much. It's a good smooth brain strategy. Anyway, that's my whole fucking grand design spiel. And once I finish up Essence, I'll swap things to Abyss or whatever and get some more experience. But don't forget, when you have a grand design tree, any of these little 2-point nodes, so even like bam, Exalted Will, bam, Contested Development, all those little 2-point nodes, that's 1% pack size, and it is not too hard to reach the heights of 80-90% pack size with a well-crafted map. You have a shit map, you val it. You get to maybe a higher amount of pack size. You can hit those 8 passive maps that I am trying to hit but not hitting one. Okay, any day now. There we go. So 36% pack size plus my pack size plus fortune is going to be close to 100%. That's huge, 100% pack size. So great returns, great experience. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you check out Grand Design. I'll have my tree at the basis for this tree in the description below. But again, you can customize it to your liking and take the most advantage of it by implementing League mechanics such as Breach, Abyss, Harbinger, Expedition, things that scale super well off of pack size. Grand Design, I think, is a fantastically fun keystone for the Atlas Passage tree, and a great way to have a very casual mapping experience that feels like you're getting great experience returns.